This video was sponsored by Enhance, Elbilmek, a bit road planner, Kempower and bilkomponenter.
Yo, what's up? This is Mercedes G580. It's the electric Geländewagen. And in this video, we will test how thirsty it is. I will measure how much range you can actually get on these kind of motorways. That's what 99% of the cars will be driven anywhere at. Who drives this on off-road anyway? But okay, it's the beast from, well, not Stuttgart, from Austria. Yeah, Österreich. Ho, 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 ho. Nice cars. You see here in the back. We have some nice seats. Yeah. And then in the front, same there. Oh yeah. So, I started from home with 100% vehicle operation. Okay. Started from home with 100% battery. Drove 63 kilometers. We're already down to 79%. So I will measure the net capacity according to EV database. Supposed to be 116 kilowatt hour, and then gross capacity is 124. So let's see. When I did 1,000 kilometer challenge, I measured 114 kilowatt hours. So there might have been some losses here. This as well uses the CATL battery. But okay, we have some car scanning action going on here. The state of charge here is not exactly the same as the one on display, but close enough. I don't see any battery temperature, only inlet, and then some power and whatever. Okay, so yeah, we will drive now a loop in the north here. I avoid this section nowadays because there's some roadworks, Baustelle over there. We go here and then we see. I guess we'll use not sport, but use wait, there's no eco mode here. Well, I guess nobody drives an eco mode in Geländewagen anyway. Okay, we turn off this and then we reset here. I can use the from start. And off we go. All right, on the move. I'm doing the high-speed test first, and man, I have to cruise at 128 on the speedo to match 120 GPS speed. That's a quite big error. Most cars that have only 3 kilometers per hour error, not 8. And then we'll just drive, I'm not sure how far, maybe around 50, 60 kilometer loop now. That's good enough for the high-speed test. And then I can show you that if you go to home here and then swipe over to some info, see that it's using the rear motor at the high-speed test. And it's, yeah, saving on the front motor. But this is quad motor, so it has no differential. It only uses the motors to act like a differential. A nice and comfy ride. Yeah, we have 60 profile tires here. So we are now on rough Norwegian asphalt, and when it changed to the other lane, which is usually a bit smoother, there's almost no difference. The suspension, which probably has a lot of travel, can soak up some noise, and also the tires. And of course the car is built like a tank, so it's nice and quiet here and just comfortable ride. I mean, it looks like an ancient German auto from the museum, but inside is just top modern, and the comfort level is superb. And this, like I mentioned, has quad motor and 630 horsepower and over 1,000 Newton meter torque. It is the beast, the true beast. The auto steer is acting a bit weird. Many curves, it just totally gives up without any warning. It goes a bit to the side. It's acting more like a Chinese car, you know, driving like insecure teenagers. That's weird because in general, the Mercedes, they're really smooth auto steer. And also here, when I navigate to somewhere, I don't see the percent at arrival. And there is no electric route planner thing here. So, it's like, this is a very expensive car, 2 million NOK, but you don't get the basic functions you will get in a Tesla Model 3, right? And so far the consumption is 442 watt-hour per kilometer. Wait, I have to check here. Did I forget to unhook the trailer? No, actually this car cannot tow trailer, it's too heavy. Yeah, I need to check the weight eventually. But man, this is a thirsty beast. Yeah. All right, the result was 395 watt-hour per kilometer, but this car overreports by 1.2%. So the correct consumption is 400 watt-hour per kilometer. Holy macaroni! Let's try the 90 test then. Alright, this time we cruise at 96 on the speedo to match 90 GPS speed. So the consumption should be a lot better. Let's see, is it going to be 40% lower? Because this car is like a brick. It has drag coefficient of 0.44. You can see the window, how sharp or how what the angle is, you know. Almost 90 degrees. I'm not sure, maybe 80 degrees something. So yeah, we will also test coasting around here, Brumunddal. I'm gonna coast downhill and see how it can roll, because this should have an advantage, which is that it's quite heavy. Wait, do I have to go 95? Yeah, but then with poor drag, how it's gonna coast, we'll see. But this Mercedes is equipped with a Burmester sound system. How good is it? Well, let's test it out. Good, good, yeah. Nice bass, deep, clear. Hey, shit. It's that good, the bass, yeah. I like it. And as usual, I use CD quality USB stick, 44.1 kilohertz, sample rate, 16 bits, stereo. Oh, it sounds good. Nice and clear. Oh, that bass though. Oh, it's great. Also nice and linear bass, firm, not boomy. Burmester, man. What about this song? Yeah, it sounds pleasant, natural to listen to. This is really good sound system. Better than a CLA that didn't have the Burmester. Okay, what about rattling in the doors? This German car, well actually it's manufactured in Austria, but still, you know, should be good, right? What? Slight rattling, not that much, or I'm not sure if it's my equipment rattling, but I think it's slight rattling there. Okay, see, when they're gonna go next, I have to wait for that. Okay, there. Okay, last one. Ooh. You can just throw any genre at this stereo system and it just plays it really well. And it goes loud. So I'm gonna crank up now. The mic might clip, but I'm gonna listen now if we crank up the volume. Whoa! It goes loud, it doesn't distort, it doesn't clip. Yeah, they put proper amplifier here in the Burmester. So yeah, this is a clear 9 out of 10. Maybe not 10 out of 10. I feel like maybe the EQS was slightly better, maybe because of the cabin, you know, but this is still really good. Okay, I added a bunch of variables here in car scanner, so we can see when we do the coasting test how it goes. But also, yeah, I'm cruising at 96 on the speed or 90 GPS speed, but the car reports 92-ish. Alright, let's see, we just have to wait until power is, well, 0. Okay, so it's negative power, it's output. There, and then if I use no regen, now, it's still regen, well, I'm not sure if it, okay, but I'm just gonna use neutral there, okay, just to be sure, right? Okay, we should be picking up speed, right? Oh, we're picking up some speed. It's all about the potential energy that is being released now. changing the kinetic energy. And then as for wind direction, I think we have mostly side winds now today. Well, it's picking up some speed at least. Yeah, okay. See how far I can coast. Since I don't have correct GPS speed here on the display, I just have to go by the speedo speed. Okay, but it didn't hit 120 on the speedo even. Well, at least if we can just float down the hills here and the slope, that will still be okay. Well, actually, I think this car will do it quite poorly. I almost feel like we have glue on the tires now. It's just not rolling that well. Wow. Really? We're getting close to 90 kilometers per hour already. Okay, there's still a slight downhill now. 12 degrees Celsius over here. Wait, that's it? Wait. There. Well, okay, let's coast slightly. It's still at 90, so we can still maintain the speed. Yeah, it's still rolling. Okay. There, oh, well, it's actually below 90. It's 89 now. And we are losing speed in the downhill. This is crazy, man. Okay, I'm just gonna go slightly slower just to see how far it rolls. Okay. Yeah, I resume the cruise control now. So this is probably the worst result as expected. So probably a combination of inefficient drivetrain, but also drag coefficient like a brick. This time it was 272 watt-hour per kilometer, and after corrections 275. So 275 versus 400 is actually 45% increase. Model 3, when it goes at 120 versus 90, is only 30% increase. Wow, that is the effect of drag coefficient. Okay, now we need to drive the car down to, I don't know, to there 0%. But just drive it low, we have 38% left. So I'm not sure how many kilometers we can get. 150, highly likely. Maybe around 100 kilometers. Rule of thumb is that you take the percent and then multiply by roughly 2.5. That is the realistic range on the motorway speeds now. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to Ioniq and just top up before I go home. Okay, let's check the weight. Front axle. Oh, 1540. That's the weight of a BMW i3. No, actually more than i3. Holy macaron, this thing is heavy. What the heck, man? 3.2 tons? It is the heaviest beast ever checked now. Wow. German Panzer is heavy, yeah. Man, we're almost done with the test, and this is so scary. At 2% left, we have 20% power limit. The car becomes quite sluggish. I can barely maintain the speed uphill here. Gee. I think I'll just bail out now. Let's not go too deep. Well, we're done with the test. So we have 2% left. 358 watt-hour per kilometer since we reset, or that was at 100% battery. And then to get more accurate distance number here, I have it there, 315.3. So this equals to 115.2 kilowatt hour. When I did 1,000 kilometer challenge, the consumption was over 400 watt-hour per kilometer on the first leg. And then I got only 114 kilowatt hours. So yeah, because this car has higher power output, then you get more losses when you hammer it and you get less kilowatt hour out of the battery. We are now at Ioniq charging up. So I noticed that the charging was kind of slow. Can we see it here? Yeah, you can see it here. So if we look at details here. Wait, I'm not sure if it's that visible. Okay, let's go inside instead. You see, it goes a bit slow if you go deep. Normally you get 200 kilowatt, but if you go to 2%, or I think below 8% roughly, then it charges slower. But now it starts ramping up, and then soon enough we should get 200 kilowatt. Yeah, there you go. Alles gut. Oh, what the heck? This is strange. We're supposed to get roughly 200 kilowatt flat until 40%, and now it's only at 131. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Battery, coolant temperature. Are we rapid gating or cold gating? Oh, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a message. Well, that's kind of loud. Need to turn it down a bit. But yeah, also doing 1,000 kilometer challenge, the charging curve was not consistent. It was charging slower, at least on 2 of the 5 or 6 charging sessions I had. It's going even slower now, only 122 kilowatt. What the heck, man? When it comes to range though, because this car is so thirsty, then despite having a big battery, the range is not that great. And then I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to compare this against, because there's nothing like this before that I've tested. Maybe the closest thing I could compare against is for the F-150 Lightning, but that's a pickup truck, and it was done in winter or colder. But it could almost seem like even the F-150 was not as thirsty as this car. So, yeah. But at least the test shows that if you don't drive too fast, then the consumption doesn't go through the roof. So if you're just mainly driving it in the city, or soccer mom runs, or maybe off-road it, then no problem. Then you actually have pretty okay range. But even if you hammer it, okay, as long as you don't hammer too far and you only charge at home, then no problem. And this car has okay charging speed as long as it doesn't, I don't know what the heck is going on now, Colgate replicate. But actually, yeah, it's okay. I just wish that the charging was a bit faster, and then maybe the car would be slightly more efficient. But there might not be much to gain here, because we have a freaking quad motor system, right? And the shape here, no, we're not going to change it. We're not going to make it look like a Tesla. No. We just keep the design and then just go with how it is. I mean, I think a fossil Geländewagen, everyone also knows that it's thirsty, and if you hammer it, you're slurping in 20 liters per 100 kilometers. And there's just people are willing to accept that. And then when it comes to electric, you just have to accept that it is a thirsty beast. But it's a nice thirsty beast at all. Yeah. So that's gonna be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.